still including nice little treats. Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Estee, and in today's video I'm going to show you a full day of eating as somebody who keeps her meals predominantly whole food based, high protein, high fiber, as someone who is currently on a body recomp journey. There is so much noise in social media these days around the types of foods you should be eating. There's a plethora of high protein recipes left, right and center, which encourages you to just save them, probably never even try them, and then it just causes you to just be so confused about your own nutrition when it comes to your own physique goals. So I'm just going to give you a little bit of an insight as to what I eat, because I am somebody who runs an online business. I am an online coach, and when it comes to food, I do not want to be spending hours in the kitchen, because I would rather spend as much time as I possibly can working on myself and my business. So this is just going to give you a little bit of an insight as to how simple your meals can be, whilst also helping you towards your physique goals. And if you're new around here, make sure you go and give this video a like and subscribe if you're new. I'd love it if you joined the family. But before I go and show you my full day of eating, I just want to give you a little bit of a fitness journey update, where I'm at, what I'm currently doing, so you've got a bit more of an understanding as to where I'm currently at. The majority of last year I spent hovering around when it came to my fitness journey. I didn't know whether I wanted to cut, didn't know whether I wanted to bulk. I didn't really have much sense of purpose in my training anymore. Ever since I left the bodybuilding sphere, I just kind of felt a little bit lost, and training, I didn't enjoy it anymore. I just felt very much like I'd lost a big part of my identity. And to be honest with you, it's taken me a good few months to find my feet on the ground, quite literally. With the world of social media, it always seems like everyone is on top of their game. They know what they're doing, they've got their goals in place, but sometimes, and I'm going to tell you from someone who's very realistic, there are going to be times in your journey where you don't really know what you're doing, what you're working towards. You just go to the gym and you just kind of tick along and you just kind of exist. That is fine. In my opinion, I think those kind of weird limbo phases serve a purpose, so long as you either take action and learn from the limbo phase, or you do something about it and seek guidance from someone else. Now, for me personally, it took me a good few months to really establish a proper routine where I could perform well, work well, and not be tired throughout my day. Like, I work in the evenings because of the time zone. So I really struggled with finding a workout time in the day where my work performance wasn't impacted, okay? So that took me a long time to establish. It's just about finding all these little parts and slotting them in. And that literally has taken me months to solidify and be consistent with. I kind of want to share that because with the world of social media, it looks like everyone's woken up and they've started a whole new routine. They've started their new me ritual, but honestly, like, starting a new routine takes a long time, and especially establishing that routine and making sure it works on the good days and on the bad days, it takes time. So if you're currently someone who is a little bit stuck in the limbo phase, promise me one thing, that you will do something that is going to benefit you to where you want to be. Whether that's getting your meal prep in, whether that's simplifying your meals, because maybe you're currently overcomplicating it and you want to try some high protein fancy meal every dinner, when that's not feasible, especially when you've got a busy work life, you've got family, you've got things going on. Or you want to get consistent in your workout routine and you want to be more vigilant with it. Do something today that is going to benefit you and put you in the right direction towards the person you want to become. Stop looking at your fitness journey as a whole big thing that you have to just wake up one day and be an absolute pro at, because you're not going to be. I'm currently on a body recomp journey. So what that means is I'm simultaneously losing fat and growing muscle. With this phase, it is a very slow burner process, but it's also a process that doesn't include any extremes. It's a much more sustainable approach. So for me personally, especially when I was doing my bodybuilding style of training and diet and whatever else, it very much developed a big negative relationship with food and exercise. I would binge, restrict, and I just couldn't really get out of that cycle, because I was taught in essence from coaches that, oh, like, if you're not 100% dedicated to your training, to your meal plan, blah, 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 then you're a failure. And every time I would have a social event, went, or every time something would go on and oh my God, I can't go to the gym anymore, I would feel like I failed and it would cause me to spiral. So that is exactly why, like, I have just been chilling in a body recomp phase where I'm focusing on really upping my training game. I'm really working hard in terms of my training. I'm eating good food. I don't overcomplicate my meals. Every Sunday, me and my partner, we go and have date night, and it just feels very easy to follow. And that is honestly the key. I'm the happiest I've been. This is the most I've enjoyed my fitness journey in a long, long time, where I haven't like obsessed about what I look like, and it's honestly been a bit of a game changer. So if you're also someone who kind of struggles for being either all or nothing, please, I couldn't recommend you just going into a body recomp phase. Now, for me personally, because of where my current body composition is at and because of my training experience, I am in a slight deficit. Because I'm not a newbie, I have to be in a slight deficit in order for my body to start tapping into its stored body fat as a source of energy. But if you're someone who's currently maybe like skinny fat, or you're quite new to the gym, you wouldn't have to do this. You would just be quite good at staying at maintenance calories. So that is just a little bit of an insight as to why I'm doing a body recomp and my reasonings behind it, because I have been down that rodeo where I've been the extremes of dieting really hard for a photo shoot and treating it as a mock bodybuilding prep. And I've also been on the other end of the spectrum where I've been in a harsh gaining phase where I've gained quite a bit of body fat. And trust me, neither of these phases served me, and they made me freaking miserable, which is why I'm here to spread the message about body recomp. Because especially as women, when we are so volatile in terms of our hormones and hormonal changes throughout the whole entire month, we have to take into consideration our hormones. And a lot of these extreme bodybuilder type diets and lifestyles don't really give a damn about your hormones. And when you actually take into consideration your hormones and how you feel and what is to be expected in terms of your training, your nutrition, there's a lot less friction. Let's go into the video and why you're here. So let's rewind and head into breakfast. Make my pre-workout little snackaroo, because have my pre-workout, then walk and have a coffee. The walking will help my digestion, and then walk back. I've had my coffee, then I can go straight to the gym. I'm gonna whip out the big boys. So I'm gonna use my coconut cream Perform Whey, and we're gonna make a whey paste on rice cakes. One very, very ripe banana. Right, and then we're gonna get 3 little rice cakes. These are actually chickpea rice cakes, but I can't tell, I really can't taste the difference, to be honest. So we'll whack on 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. And now we're gonna make a whey paste. Whack it in, okay? So you just got whey protein in here. And now we're gonna take you over and whack a dash of water in this, okay? 1, 2, maybe 1 more, 3. Tiny bit of water, and then we assess. Then we go and mix it in, and then you can judge the consistency by how it looks when you're mixing it. Right, so I've given that a good mix through, and look at the nice consistency, look at that. Now, one thing I will say is this is the only whey protein that literally has such a nice consistency. Like, oh my god, I might cry eating this, to be honest. So again, you can get to Elite Steps with my code ESTE at checkout. It's looking thick, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to spread it on each rice cake. Spread your whey paste onto the rice cake. A little bit of salt on there, just a little. So I like things that are salty and sweet, and also this will give me a delicious pump in the gyms. Eat this, and then, like I said, we're gonna go and get our coffee morning walk, and we're gonna hit the gym. All good, all good. Okay, so we've done our morning walk, I've changed, showered, and I've literally just made my little pre-workout / hydration formula. Using the Trained by JP Hydration and Electrolyte formula. This is delicious. We go with the shade, what are we? Clothes. The Flavor Pink Lemonade, and then I've recently restarted taking creatine. We got a bit laxed with the creatine intake because we just kept forgetting to buy it. I'm not gonna lie, I'm at the grand old age of 28, and my body does not recover the same way it used to when I was in my early 20s, so every little helps. Take your creatine, especially being a woman, because it helps you with the training performance and recovery. And if you haven't got either of those things, head on over to Elite Steps, use my code ESTE, and you'll get 10% off. So winner, winner, chicken dinner. You've got no excuse to not get your creatine and electrolytes in, especially if you're training. So I'm gonna drink this, and we're gonna head and do upper body. Today was supposed to be quads. My hamstring is still sore from my glutes and hamstring session, which was 2 days ago. So Steve's also got the same formula. We're getting ready for boxing.
Best of the game. Genuine hydration formula.
When looking at buying electrolytes, here is what you need to look out for, because something we've noticed with a lot of other brands that say they are electrolytes, they're actually not, and they're a little bit shit. So what you need to look out for are obviously the electrolytes. So you want to look out for magnesium, potassium, and sodium. On the back of the panel, like here, if those three names are not on the back of the panel, it's not an electrolyte formula, because your electrolytes are magnesium, potassium, and sodium. So if that doesn't have it, then it's not an electrolyte formula, and you're literally wasting your money and your time, and it's not going to hydrate you the way you think it is. So for example, this one has got potassium citrate, this one's got magnesium citrate and sodium chloride. So you see how it has all of those three in the ingredients panel. So yeah, just a little bit of education for you, because this one is really, really good. So like I said, you can get this at Elite Steps with my code ESTE. I always take this before I either train really hard, or after I've had a really hard training session, or after I've been outside for freaking ages and I've sweated my life out. A fun fact actually, this morning we boxed off so many steps. See that? I'm literally on 9,600 steps, and it's literally 10 AM. Winner. the gym. I am starving. Holy hell. And I quickly just whipped into the supermarket, as you've just seen as well. Just did a quick few little clips in there while I'm wandering around. I need to get eggs. So I'm going to show you my next meal, but we need to wait for the eggs to boil first. Back on these two bad boys on the boil. So got 2 for Steve, 2 for me. Hello, darling boy, sunbathing. Monty, wow, handsome boy. Look at him, he looks like a bear. He needs a haircut. When me and Steve go to the gym, so Steve's at boxing, I've obviously come back from the gym. Monty sleeps in his little crate. And honestly, it's the best thing we ever did. Ever is number one, crate train him from being a baby. Because otherwise, especially Monty, he just doesn't sleep without his crate. And what I mean by that, he's always like on guard and like alert. What I was saying is his little routine is when one of us comes back from being out, gets let out obviously, and he always every single day without fail just goes and lays outside. Could you imagine Monty in like England? Bear in mind my boy just detests the rain to the point where normally he is demanding to go outside at like 6 AM on the dot, sometimes even 5:30. And when it rains, oh no, he's quiet as a mouse. In fact, we have to force him to go to the toilet, and that's at like 7. So, so yeah, like my boy hates the rain and he loves the sun basically. And tell me you've got a Bali dog without telling me you've got a Bali dog. He would not survive a day in England, I don't think. Boring. Supermarket haul. So yeah, in Bali, you have to go to different places for different things. Supermarket run is always for bread. I get our eggs from the supermarket as well, but I got 2 of those because we go through eggs like no tomorrow. I say we, it's more Steve. Like Steve is a big boy and he eats like the equivalent for 2 people. Like, and I'm not even being dramatic here, he genuinely does. I'm not complaining, it's just something to understand really. And then because I'm going to meal prep later, so I'll take you along with that as well, since today is a food focused vlog. But one thing that I am meal prepping, and I have been meal prepping for like 2 months, maybe even more, is meatballs, like chicken meatballs. And in those meatballs, I put in parsley, and I also put in coriander as well. So these are for the meatballs that I'm gonna meal prep today. And I've got some bananas, cottage cheese, dark chocolate. Be very specific with the dark chocolate you get. If you get anything below 70%, not dark chocolate, make sure it's at least 75, but we go for 86. Steve is a psycho and he likes the 100% cacao, and that is disgusting. So we compromise with 86. I can deal with 86. These are like little spring onions. Do I need this many? No, but it came like that. Got some chicken seasoning, so that's my little supermarket haul. Okay, so we've made it. I told you it's a bit of a random concoction, isn't it? You got cottage cheese in here, 2 eggs, 2 hard-boiled eggs, and Greek yogurt. And you basically mash it all together and pop it on a sourdough. And don't knock it, it's freaking delicious. Very high in protein, good quality fats in here. And I like to put a little bit of spring onion. That's what the green stuff is. A little bit of spring onion in there. Delicious. I tell you, seasoned it with garlic powder, salt, pepper. That's it. Delicious. Like, if you want a new breakfast idea, I would highly recommend you give this a go. If you're not, you know, put off by cottage cheese, because I know cottage cheese is like Marmite these days, isn't it? People either like it or don't like it, but in this household, we're a big fan. a little bit later on. I'm not sure how this happens every single day, but lo and behold, it's like late in the afternoon. Should I really be having a caffeinated beverage at this time? No, but I have a lot of check-ins to do today. Today's Monday, my busiest client check-in day. And I'm also in my luteal phase, so do you think I have the energy to be up till really, really late? No. So that's why caffeine is very much needed. Also, lots of hydration. What did I come on here to say? Not a lot really, apart from I still haven't eaten yet. Let me tell you the story. Went to the market. I had the cutest interaction I've ever had in my life. Bear in mind, I shop at this local market every single week, without fail, sometimes twice a week. I get most of my produce from there. I get my milk from there, my butter from there, fruit, veggies, all the good stuff. And I'm doing my business, carrying on as normal, and the cashier woman, obviously I've paid and I'm obviously just getting ready to drive out, and the cashier woman runs up to me and is like, oh my god, miss, I've got this for you. And she brings out a big shopping bag full of goodies to say thank you for being a loyal customer. Are we joking? Like, I honestly got a bit confused, and I thought that she was giving me the bag because she thought that I'd bought the bag. And I was like, no, like I didn't buy this. And she was like, no, this is a gift from us. And it was a very, very cute ordeal. Basically, I don't quite believe it. Like, imagine just being given gifts for the fact that you've spent money in their shop for a long time. It just, oh bless them, like bless them. Honestly, it quite literally breaks my heart that so many foreigners in Bali do not shop in the local markets. They're absolute idiots, because number one, you save yourself so much money, and number two, the quality of produce is so much better, like so much better. I do not understand it. And also, like, you're supporting local farmers and like local families, and I just think that's so much better than going to like a freaking supermarket that's probably owned by a Westerner, you know? Oh, it just makes me sick. People like that, go away. Like, just help the locals out a bit, you know what I mean? Anyway, that was like the cutest interaction I've ever experienced in my entire life, and I am due my period in a few days, and I just feel like that's just gonna make me cry. It did make me cry. So that's how today's turning out. Anyway, like I said, let's crack on to check-ins. Let's see how my girls are doing. Okay, I need to show you one of my client journeys so far. So this was her 4 weeks ago, or actually this was her 5 weeks ago, and she's just sent her picture in now, and she looks like this. I'm sorry, but she's made that much difference in 5 weeks. Like, are we actually being serious? This is genuinely what happens when you hire a coach and you stop second guessing it and stop thinking you can do everything yourself. You know what you're doing, you've got your plan. You can literally make progress like this in the space of a month, which I think is freaking ridiculous. On that note, if you want to find out more about my one-to-one online coaching, I do have a few spaces remaining for the rest of the month. So just inquire your interest in the link in the bio, and then I can send you the information over. Hello friends, it's the evening, and I actually forgot to show you the last meal I had, which is very terrible of me, but it's nothing exciting, and you're about to see it being meal prepped right here, right now. So you're not missing out on too much, but what I did have was sweet potato, veggies, and chicken. Simple. But you're gonna see how I marinate my chicken and how I prep everything right now, because it is dinner time, but also it's meal prep time. And what I personally like to do is I like to meal prep for 3 days, and then obviously once 3 days are up, I'll then meal prep for another 3 days. It just keeps the food a lot more fresh, a lot nicer, because I'm not the biggest fan of like eating food that's been in the fridge for like 5 days. So that's what we're doing. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to chop up my potatoes. I need to give these a wash because they're a little bit grubby, a little bit dirty, so we're going to do that. Just whack them in the air fryer, let them do their thing, and then we're going to marinate our chicken. So let's do that. So obviously we all know around here that eating fibre is very important, as well as a high protein diet, but I'm going to tell you the biggest hack in the entire world. When you have potatoes, keep the skin on them. More fibre. You're welcome. Okay, so now we've got our sweet potatoes all chopped up. I'm gonna add some seasonings. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna add some smoked paprika. Don't be shy with seasoning, okay? Don't fanny around, get stuck in, get your hands in there. You turn around and say to me that your food tastes gross, it's because you're not seasoning it enough, okay? It's not the food's fault, it's your fault because you can't cook. So learn, watch and learn here, folks. I'm gonna add some salt, nice little drizzle of that. Again, mix it all in. Garlic powder in. Again, I do not, and I'm not shy with seasoning anything. Olive oil spray, and I'm just going to spray it lightly. Give it a mix. Into the air fryer, these go. Like that, look at that. Seasoning galore, delicious. Also, this spotlight scenario is getting a bit much. I look at, you can see all my little flyaway hairs, all my new hairs that are growing. Anyway, if you can hear that annoying noise, that's the air fryer doing its thing. But the key to meal prepping is basically doing as much as you can in one go. Like, don't just wait for your potatoes to cook and then cook your chicken. If you've got a rice cooker and air fryer, utilize them at the same time. You'll save yourself so much time. So whilst my potatoes are cooking, I'm going to start meal prepping and making my famous meatballs. And I say famous, they're very famous in here. We have them every single week, more than once a week, and it never fails. It slaps and it's so good. So I'm going to tell you exactly what I put in them to make them taste delicious and juicy and not dry. Right, in a bowl I've just added in chicken mince. Now I've done 300 grams of chicken breast mince, and then I've done 300 grams of chicken thigh. Now this is really important. If you do not want like dry ass meatballs, add in chicken thigh mince because it's going to make it a lot more juicy. Okay, so in your little mixture you're going to add an egg and some breadcrumbs. So let's do that. Egg, crumbs. Don't need loads. That'll do. Go back in with your smoked paprika, and again, generously whack it in. The salt. We go back in with trusted garlic powder. Again, coat this generously. Whack it all in. Some black pepper. Add it in generously. I don't do measurements when I cook. I got that off my mum, so my mum will be watching this. Mum, this is your fault, I can't measure stuff. I just eyeball everything and taste as I go. Obviously I'm not going to go and taste raw meat, you know what I mean, but I know roughly what it looks like. So then, that's all of our spices done. I go the extra mile when it comes to my meatballs, and I actually add veggies and herbs in there. So add grated courgette, and also add in coriander and parsley. These are the delightful combination, especially paired with chicken. It is so nice. And the tip with the courgette is it makes it nice and moist, so it just kind of prevents the chicken from drying out, and also you're boosting your fibre intake by adding some veggies in, you know, like it's just winner winner chicken dinner, quite literally. Okay, so now everything is in the bowl. Put your glove on. Start mixing your mince mixture so that everything is combined. Okay, you don't really want like a clump of greens to be stuck in one place. You don't want like a clump of paprika to be stuck in one place. And I just kind of like squish it, like fold it and like squish it. And kind of like grab it a little bit. So you kind of want the mixture to look a bit like this. See how everything is like mixed in? And to give your meatballs a little bit more of like an even size, I use a teaspoon and I just scoop it, like roughly covers the spoon, and then I plonk it on my hand and I just do this, essentially just kind of like make it into a ball, and voila. What you're going to do is you're going to let the meatballs cook on each side a little bit, and then you're going to finish the meatballs off in the air fryer. Right, so in the time that I've just been prepping the meatballs, the sweet potatoes that we just prepped are done. So now I'm just gonna pop the sweet potatoes in 3 containers, and that's 3 days worth of sweet potatoes done. Now I'm going to do the same thing that I did with sweet potatoes, only this time we're going to do rice. So when the meatballs start looking like this, so one side is like done, the other side is done, but the middle still isn't, that is when these bad boys get transported into the air fryer. Right, now the final protein we're prepping is chicken thigh. So in here I've just measured out my chicken. Something I need to just quickly briefly mention is I've already pre-tracked everything, so I know how much I'm having per day. So for example, like with the sweet potato, it's 200 grams sweet potato per day, so I just did 200 times by 3 because obviously that's 3 days worth, and I just applied that method to all of the things I've prepped. So the same goes for meat, so on and so forth. Season it with this. Now I don't know if you can get this anywhere else, but it's the Grill Master Italian Grill. It comes in like a little packet, and then I just sprinkle it over, and I obviously add some other few things like paprika and garlic, the usuals. And this is what I see a lot with cooking, like so many people overcomplicate it. They have like a gazillion spices. You don't need it. Salt, pepper, paprika, garlic, a few extras, that's it. Okay, so you know when you're cooking chicken on the pan and it starts to kind of like get stuck and it starts to kind of like burn at the bottom? I'm going to show you a little trick. You just put a little bit of water on the pan and it stops it from sticking, and you keep doing it obviously until your chicken's cooked. Right, and for my last meal, I've basically just made a little sandwich. Bread, the meatballs I've just made, and my coleslaw that I've made. And that is going to be my last meal. And then I'm going to have a sweet treat, because we've got to end the day on a sweet treat. The more simple you make your meals, the easier it's going to be for you to stick to your calories. Like if you're always looking for new recipes, looking for things to make, and you're giving yourself too much choice, you're gonna be fatigued, you're not gonna know what the hell you're doing, and the chances are you're gonna be eating random stuff and you're not gonna be meeting your macro targets, and therefore that's gonna impact your muscle growth journey. I'm just gonna eat this random little sandwich and I'll catch you in a bit. I've just made myself a chamomile tea, and then I've measured out a little sweet treat. These are like little wafers, they're like little chocolate wafers, and then these are like little circular wafers. That's my little sweet treat of the day with my herbal tea, and that's my food of the day. Nice and simple, still including nice little treats. What more could you want? So if you liked this video, please stick around and subscribe, and also do me a favour and give me a like as well. And I'm going to enjoy this, sit on the sofa, watch some random food YouTubes, because that's what I do at the moment. I'm really liking food channels on YouTube. And that's me done for the day. If you still made it to this part of the video, thank you for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one.